Hey everyone, I'm doing something a bit different today, I'm not doing it's not a gaming video, it's actually an unpackaging video, unboxing video if you will. Yeah, unboxing, unpackaging. Basically, so glad I checked my email, because apparently they, the people that were delivering it wound up just leaving it in my mailbox. They never even bothered to knock on my door, let you know, hey, we're here, the package is here. So, yeah, and it's probably due to the COVID-19, and I do understand that. I totally understand that. I'm glad I just checked my emails. It is, what time is it? 12:45 p.m. And my package arrived apparently, according to my email, at 12:25 p.m. So it's not that big of a difference. Alright, so what am I unpackaging today? I didn't really let people know what it was, but I ordered a lot of my stuff from Amazon Prime. Yeah, that's what they decided to do. Okay, so let's just get to it, shall we? Yeah. I know what it is, but I love doing these unpackaging videos. Wanted to share this with you guys. And hopefully, like, sometime soon, I'll be able to do more unpackaging videos. There's a lot of games that I really want to get that came out either this year or, like, older games. Now, I don't have scissors with me. I don't know where my scissors are, but I do have a letter opener with me. A letter opener that I normally use. Oh, that I've been using for a while. So, just gonna put, well, first of all, before I do this, any way to, nope, perfect. So I'm just gonna open it like that. Yeah. Put that down. Alright. Well, while I was, while this arrived, I was actually in the middle of doing a video, so that was kind of actually another good thing, reason why they just left it in the mailbox. So, this time it came in an actual box. Nice. I've gotten one of these before. Multi-platform wired controller. Support X360, PC, and Android. It's really an Xbox 360 controller. Yep. I'll show it to you in the box format. Other times it did not come in the box. It didn't. I do have two other controllers. I hadn't. This is one. Reason why I had to get another one was because the other two that I have. Where did the other one go? The one here somewhere. I leave it over here. Probably did. Sorry, everyone. Give me 1 sec. Yeah, I did. 1, 2. My previous Xbox 360 controllers. I use these for like older games for like Super Nintendo, Nintendo, PlayStation 1 games that you can download by emulator and ROMs. And these ones have pretty much conked out on me. Yeah, they're pretty much in bad condition. Basically, I would be pressing left, and then I would go to press right, and it would continue going left for like a second or two. So yeah, the reason why they no longer work. No. It's probably due to the way that I used to treat them. I treated them really badly. But past year, I've actually been past year and a half. Uh, I've actually been treating them very, very good. It's just, I guess it was it was the controller was saying was being like, okay, well, it's time. Yeah, we're gonna conk out on you because of the way that you treated us. Pretty much, yeah. But no, for the past year and a half, I've been very, very good with them. Whenever I'm not using them, I put them away. So I'm gonna unpackage this box now. And that's probably another reason, because the other controllers never really came in a box. This one is. So maybe this time it will last longer. Who knows? So basically, it should be the same thing. Yeah, pretty much is. Have the L and R buttons, Y, B, A, X, two joysticks, gamepad, the logo, start, select, awesome stuff. So yeah, on that note, I should be able to get back to actually doing, and yeah, Super Nintendo games for my videos. Yeah, reason why I stopped doing those videos was because it's just like, okay, yeah, no, I can't do this anymore. Yeah. Well, another thing is, I want to see exactly how long the cord is, because I've only ordered one before off of Amazon, and the cord wasn't all that long. And I'd say the cord is much longer this time around. Nice. Yeah, my first one, I didn't order from Amazon. I actually got my first one from Walmart, when it used to be part of the mall here. Yeah. So, yeah, this end goes into the computer, and I can start playing. Awesome stuff. So yeah, yesterday I recorded and finished the first game of Uncharted on my Nathan Drake collection. Yeah, the first one, which was Drake's Fortune. Yeah, and I was actually in the middle of doing the second one, Uncharted 2 Among Thieves, which is up on my screen right now. Down here. Yeah, my PS4 is actually plugged into my smaller screen, the screen that I used to use for my computer. I actually find it, when it comes to playing at least the Uncharted games, it's so much better to have it on the screen down here than up there on the big screen, because I don't know what it is. I play better on the Uncharted games on the smaller screen. Well, you see, like Nintendo games, Super Nintendo games, stuff like that, I tend to do so much better on a bigger screen. Don't know why. It just is that way. Preference. Anyhow, I want to thank you all for taking time to watch, and oh yeah, I should note, after I'm done, yeah, so I'm actually in the middle of doing the Uncharted games. Uncharted, the Nathan Drake Collection, which is 1, 2, and 3, which is Uncharted, Drake's Fortune, Uncharted 2, Among Thieves, and Uncharted 3, Drake's Deception. Yep. And after I'm done those games, I have these out here. Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, Booyah. Trying to see if you guys can see that. Yeah. and Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. I am a huge Uncharted fan. Huge. There's one Uncharted game that I don't have, and that's because I don't have the PS Vita. I forget what it was called, but I do know that there's another Uncharted game out there. I want to get that. I've actually found out not too long ago my PS4 can't play PS Vita games. So, yeah, I really want to get that. And what I've been... I hate doing that. So what I have been doing is been recording the videos on my PS4, putting it on this, which is a USB a USB storage stick. Yeah, I have 128 gigabytes on it. It's not much, but at least it's something. I've seen others out there that's like 500 gigabytes, more than that. So like, if I do an hour video, I can probably put like five videos onto this. Then I'm able to transfer it to my computer, plug this into my computer, transfer it to my computer. Then I use my Camtasia Studio to render the videos into one whole video, and that's how I posted the first one. So I'm hoping that you like that quality, because yeah, I could upload it on my PS4, but I feel safer doing it on my computer for a few reasons. One, I'm able to put it all in one video. Yeah, and that's the main thing for me, because I'm trying to have like one video for one game, pretty much. Sometimes it doesn't work that way because it's like the game is just too long. I'm allowed 12 hours of footage for one video on YouTube. I try to stick with 10 hours. Yeah, that way, in case if I go over by a minute or two, it's in a video, because in one video I try to do like an hour. Well, but for my PS4, I've been doing things a bit differently. It's been more like somewhere between 30 to 50 minutes per year. But for the other games, like Final Fantasy VI, I have to redo for the Super Nintendo. That's what's gonna make this great. Yep. And I think I might do that after I'm done this. Yep. After I'm done this video here. Go to my stop playing some Final Fantasy games. I do own 4 and 6. You guys want to see that? I do have some Super Nintendo games again, which is nice, because in the past year and a half, I've been getting some Super Nintendo games again. I have a machine though that plays Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, and Nintendo games. Maybe I could actually show you guys, but while in this update video, I can show you guys my my collection thus far. It's not much, really not much. Give me one sec. This is something that I've been really trying to do, to show you guys exactly what my collection of Super Nintendo games and other Super Nintendo games. Yep. I've been trying to get ones that meant the most to me, if you will. And I grew up on a lot of RPGs on the Super Nintendo, so that's great. Okay, so I have everything here. Just give me 1 sec. I'm just gonna move things around here, and then I'll show you my collection. Alright. This is something I've really been wanting to do for a long while now. A long while. Alright, so I have Final Fantasy 2, Final Fantasy 4, aka Final Fantasy 4. It was released as 2. Guys, can't really see that, can ya? Why not? Final Fantasy 2, 4. Maybe if I turn on my light. There you go. Final Fantasy 4 was released as Final Fantasy 2 on the Super Nintendo, and all of the other releases later on, it was Final Fantasy 4, because that's the correct name for it, Final Fantasy 4. Chrono Trigger, which I gotta get another copy of, because this one, well, it works, however the save doesn't really work. It's kind of like corrupted or some sort. And it's the only game that does that for me. Only game. Ninja Turtles 4, Turtles in Time. Yep. Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, which is not only my most favorite Zelda game, one of my most favorite games of all time. Yeah. If I had to pick a Final Fantasy game that was my most favorite of all time, I know before I said it's so hard for me to choose between 4 of them, which was 4, 6, 7, and 9. But personally, I've actually been thinking about it, and I would have to say 6. Yeah, Final Fantasy 6. I know a lot of people refer over to Final Fantasy 7, and there's a remake that just came out of Final Fantasy 7, which I really want to get. Oh yeah. Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo. Booyah. And it has its own kind of case that came in, which is nice. I love it when they do that. They give you a case, which I'm going to get to another game sometime down the line, soon. Oh yes, the Breath of Fire games. Like I said, I grew up on a lot of the RPGs on the Super Nintendo. They were just awesome. A lot of Super Nintendo games were just awesome. Which one is this? Final Fantasy 3, aka 6. Yep. So yeah, this video is going to be a bit more, a bit longer than what I originally thought, because now I'm doing my collection. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while now. I'm doing it. Oh yes, which one is this one? The first one. The first one that was released, to be exact. Lufia and the Photos of Doom. Booyah. See, features all work in these ones. The Chrono Trigger is like the only one that it doesn't work. Lufia 2, Rise of the Sinistors. My most favorite game of all time, ladies and gentlemen. Lufia 2, Rise of the Sinistors. What makes it my most favorite is because it had the RPG elements from like Final Fantasy, but yet it had the puzzle solving from Zelda, which put them both together. It makes such an awesome game. I love the dungeons in that game, Lufia 2, Rise of the Sinistors, because you had puzzle solving. It's not just about battles; it's also about solving puzzles, and I love games that do that. Breath of Fire 2 for the Super Nintendo. Yep. I have something here. It's not really for the Super Nintendo. It's for the Western Nintendo, and I love. It's like Super Games, 143 in 1, the best 143 video games to ever be released on the original Nintendo. It shows some of the Pixel Seal Final Fantasy. I like the first one on the NES. It's not one of my favorites though. I find it's good. Star Tropics, which was the first one, which was my most favorite NES game of all time. I think it makes it to like my top 3 for the original Nintendo, along with Super Mario Bros. 3, and that would be my first one. My second one would be what is that game again? A lot of people are going to resent me for this a bit because they're like, really? But the most fun I've ever had with any of the NES games that comes in the second spot for me is Double Dragon 3. Not the first, not the second one. Don't get me wrong. The first and the second one, great classic games. But I love the third one the most out of the 3 because it was the most challenging one. And I know I've heard a lot of people say it's extremely hard, and yeah, it is. And that's what draws me the most to that one. Because it's hard. It's fun, but hard. It makes me want to keep playing to try to get better at it. And out of the first 3 Double Dragon games, the third one I'm able to beat no problem whatsoever. Well, the first and the second one, I have difficulties. I do. And it shows the fact that my true talent lies with the third game of Double Dragon. That's probably the reason why I love the game so much. Because it's the one that I'm good at. The first one and the second one, I've done a walkthrough of those 2 already. And you can see I had trouble. I think the first one I might have been able to beat without cheating. Yeah. But definitely not the second one. Oh no, definitely not. The second one, I was having problems. As you guys could tell. Oh, they show Star Tropics, so there's revenge on the screen on this cartridge. Yeah, Star Tropics had a second one. Second one is good, but the first one was the better one. But yeah, those are my top 3 favorite games other than Nintendo of all time, which is, like I said, Super Mario Bros. 3 comes in first. Second winds up being Double Dragon 3. And the third one is the first game of Star Tropics. Don't get me wrong, the NES was home to a lot of great classic games, but those are my top 3. Like, I love both the Zelda games. I know the second one gets resentment from a lot of people because of how hard it actually is, but it's one of my most favorite NES games of all time. Not my top 3. I would say the 2 Zelda games that came out on the Nintendo, on the original Nintendo, were like definitely in my top 5 video games of all time. The 4th and the 5th spot are kind of like tied between the 2 of them. Anyhow, we're moving on. I still have a few more games here. Yes, Super Mario RPG, Legend of the 7 Stars. Booyah. I was trying to get the first one, but unfortunately, the one that I got wasn't the first one. It was a competition cartridge, and I'm really pissed off about that. But which means I still have to try and get the first one again. I love the first, second, and the third one for this that will release for the Super Nintendo, all three of them. Donkey Kong Country in its own package, yo. Yep. Coming in at my second top spot of my favorite video games of all time on the Super Nintendo is Earthbound. When I was a kid, I hated the game. But when in my that was like, what year was this came out again? I'll say 94, 93, which means I would have been 10, 11. Yeah, so my the last years of when I was a kid. So yeah, yeah. When I was a kid, I hated the game, but when I came into my teen years, especially my late teen years, I think it would be in my mid-teen years, 15, 16. I was like, okay, well, let's try this game again. Let's play it again and see how far I get. And I remember getting to the final boss and then dying. But no, around that time, Earthbound wound up becoming like one of my most favorite. I was starting to get a feel for the game, a love for the game, if you will. And and now to this day, Earthbound is one of my most favorite Super Nintendo games of all time. Oh yeah. So I've covered my first and my second favorite game of all time for the Super Nintendo. My third one, a lot of people praise the Final Fantasy games for the Super Nintendo. And I don't blame them one bit. They're amazing games. 4, 6. I played 5 at a friend's house not too long back for the Super Nintendo. An actual, not a ROM, not a hack, the actual Final Fantasy V game for the Super Nintendo. It was in Japanese. And I do very much enjoy that game. But 4 and 6 stick out more. Yeah. So, yeah. So, basically, I do love the Final Fantasy games. I do understand why it would be some people's most favorite games of all time. I can understand that. But they're not mine. Well, they are my most favorite games of all time. But it's like, it doesn't hit my top 3. I would say 6 hits my top 5. Shortly after Final Fantasy 2, 4 hits top 10. I would say that would be my 6, 6. Yeah. But so yeah, I've covered my most favorite game of all time. My third favorite of all time. Third, second. Yeah, no, that would be my second. The Zelda game, The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. That would be my second game. My most favorite game of all time for the Super Nintendo. And what comes into my number 3rd spot is Illusion of Gaia. I played this game countlessly as a kid, and I loved it then. And growing up with it as much as I did, I grew to love it even more over time. I really loved it when I first played it, and I just, yeah. And last but not least, Final Fantasy VI would come in at top number 5, at the 5th spot. Yeah. My 4th spot is not an RPG. It's not. Yeah, I told you I love I love the Super Nintendo RPGs. For the most part, as you can tell, most of the games are RPGs that I have. But again, another game wins me over RPGs. And I love this series on the Nintendo. The first three were the best on the Nintendo. The fourth one was good. Actually, all six of them are great classic games on the Nintendo. The great classic games. Point final. But the best ones were the first three. The fourth brought something a bit more to the table with a powered up Buster. I'm spoiling something here. A powered up Buster, and then another series of the game came out on the Super Nintendo. We got Mega Man. Mega Man. I said it. We got Mega Man 7 on the Super Nintendo. But my most favorite game of the Mega Man series would have to be the first one of Mega Man X. It has its own box, ladies and gentlemen. It came like this, and I love the fact that it came like this. Why could they do this for all of the other Super Nintendo games? Is beyond me. But yeah, Mega Man X, ladies and gentlemen. That's my fourth position of my favorite Super Nintendo games of all time. Yeah. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. I've been rambling on for pretty much like 32 minutes here. I'm checking the time on my recording device. So yeah, an unboxing video. Talking about games, Super Nintendo games. I finally showed you my collection. And I do want to get other Super Nintendo games. I have Nintendo games I don't need to get. I have all the ones I know and love on that one cartridge. It has all of my most favorite ones on there. Yeah, like I said, those other Super Nintendo games I want to get. The Final Fight games. Some of the Batman games. Oh, I love most of the Batman games for the Super Nintendo. One in particular that I don't kill for. Batman Forever. Horrible game. Press select to do a certain grapple move that it should be like one that other buttons, not that button. Yeah. But yeah. Like Batman Returns on the Super Nintendo, I would have to say is my most favorite Batman game on the Super Nintendo. One of my most favorite Batman games, period. Before I go, I'll tell you my top 3 picks for my favorite Batman games of all time. Coming out at number 3. Batman Returns for the Super Nintendo. Coming at number 2, Batman Arkham Asylum. I've played Batman Arkham Asylum City, and what was the other one that I have? It's not Knight. Origins. Arkham Origins. And out of the 3, my most favorite out of the 3 was Batman Arkham Asylum. And then coming at number 1. Number 1, my most favorite Batman game of all time is actually the original Batman game for the NES. That game was just perfect in its own right. And that's a game that I'm going to be doing this shortly soon, now that I have that controller with me. Awesome stuff. So I've covered everything. I'm on for a long while though. I want to thank you all for taking time to watch and join me for more videos to come. I have the Uncharted games to wrap up. I'm going to be getting back to the Super Nintendo stuff. For Super Nintendo stuff, I have to do ROMs and emulators for recording purposes because I don't have a port on my system here to plug in my USB thing. I don't have. It doesn't record anything. It's just to play them. Yeah, reason why I have to resort to emulators a lot. And PlayStation 1, same thing. I don't have a proper recording device for them. Reason why it's just so much better to do ROMs and emulators. And I don't like doing that. I don't, but it's like I have no choice. I want to record. I want to record these games. I normally don't have enough money to get a proper recording device to be recording my systems. I want to get another one again, but right now it's unavoidable. I can't afford. So, anyhow, thank you for taking time to watch and join me for more video games to come. Bye, everyone.